Facing the upper rank to the one who has just killed Shinobu, Kanao tells herself to stay calm and remain completely focused. She immediately charges at Doma, but he simply leaps back lightly and easily avoids the attack. Immediately, upper rank 2 unleashes countless ice lotus flowers to counterattack, but Kanao uses a powerful sword technique to destroy them all. Realizing that Kanao's perception is incredibly sharp, making his initial attacks ineffective, Doma immediately changes his fighting style. He begins unleashing a series of techniques one after another, with relentless attacks coming from every direction. Frost and deadly strikes continuously engulf the battlefield, leaving Kanao with no choice but to quickly retreat to avoid them. Even so, despite being pushed back, she remains calm. Her eyes stay focused on every small movement of her opponent, patiently waiting for the right moment to counterattack. While focusing on avoiding Doma's relentless attacks, Kanao Inosuke does not realize that in the midst of that chaotic moment, Doma has already snatched her sword away. Before Kanao can even notice something is wrong, Doma immediately unleashes a barrage of ice lotuses across the battlefield. The razor-sharp frozen petals rush in from multiple directions, forming a dense and deadly attack. It is an extremely difficult technique to evade, placing Kanao in a very dangerous situation. At that very dangerous moment, Inosuke suddenly rushes in from nowhere, arriving just in time to rescue Kanao Inosuke. With a series of powerful slashes, Inosuke quickly shatters the incoming ice lotuses, neutralizing Doma's technique in an instant. Facing the demon known as Upper Rank 2, Inosuke shows no fear. Instead, he is incredibly excited. To him, this is a rare opportunity. Because if he can defeat the demon before him, he believes he would truly deserve to become a Hashira of the Demon Slayer Corps. Inosuke immediately charges straight at Doma and unleashes a series of seemingly wild and unpredictable attacks. However, this is merely a way to distract his opponent. Taking advantage of that brief opening, Inosuke quickly retrieves the sword that Doma had just stolen from Kanao. Inosuke immediately begins his real attack. He charges at Doma with a barrage of fierce and relentless sword strikes, continuously inflicting numerous wounds on his opponent's body. However, with the terrifying regeneration of an upper-rank demon, those injuries quickly heal, causing almost no lasting damage to Doma. Noticing that his opponent constantly wears a boar's head mask, Doma begins to grow curious about the face hidden behind it. In the middle of their intense battle, he suddenly reaches out and snatches the mask away, wanting to see Inosuke Hashibira's true face. The moment the mask comes off, Doma feels a strange sense of familiarity, as if he has seen that face somewhere in the past. For a brief moment, he tries to recall where that memory might come from. However, unlike Doma, Inosuke feels no such connection and shows no sign of recognizing the demon standing before him. After that, Inosuke Hashibira and Kanao Inosuke begin to coordinate their attacks against Doma. The two continuously launch a series of strikes, working together to pressure their opponent and keep him on the defensive. However, in a brief moment of opening, Doma suddenly unleashes a powerful counterattack, sending Kanao flying and knocking her down into a nearby lake. Realizing that Akaza has been killed and that there is no longer much time left to keep playing around, Doma decides to become more serious. He immediately creates an ice clone that possesses the same strength and techniques as the original, allowing it to continue fighting the opponents before him. This ice clone is created by Doma to deal with Inosuke Hashibira and Kanao Inosuke. At this point, Doma no longer seems interested in prolonging the battle. He leaves the task of holding the two of them off to his clone, while his real body prepares to leave and attend to another important matter. Noticing that Doma is beginning to leave the battlefield, Inosuke Hashibira immediately shouts loudly and charges forward, determined to stop him. However, before he can get close, Doma's ice clone suddenly appears and blocks his path. The clone instantly launches a relentless barrage of icy attacks, sending waves of freezing techniques crashing toward them from multiple directions. The storm of attacks forces Inosuke and Kanao Inosuke to constantly defend and evade, leaving them no moment to advance. With the clone fiercely holding them back, the two are effectively pinned down in place, unable to break through and stop Doma from leaving. Realizing that a single clone is still not enough to hold the two swordsmen back, Doma creates several more ice clones. Within moments, numerous icy replicas appear across the battlefield, surrounding Inosuke Hashibira and Kanao Inosuke from every direction. These clones do not remain still. Instead, they immediately begin coordinating their attacks, unleashing a series of dangerous ice techniques one after another. The relentless assaults crash down like a raging storm, from razor-sharp ice lotuses to deadly waves of freezing air quickly covering the battlefield in frost. Surrounded by countless attacks coming at them at the same time, Inosuke and Kanao are forced to keep moving, dodging, and defending without pause. Despite their best efforts, the increasing number of clones and the non-stop pressure of the attacks gradually push them into a disadvantage, forcing both of them to struggle just to keep up with the overwhelming assault. Just as he steps outside the door, Doma suddenly feels that something is wrong with his body. A strange sensation quickly spreads throughout him, and his strength begins to fade. He realizes that he has been severely poisoned, and inside his body, his bones feel as if they are slowly melting. Thinking back on what has happened, Doma suddenly realizes that because maybe the moment he absorbed the body of Shinobu Kako, the insect Toshira of the Demon Slayer Corps, who had long prepared a deadly poison within her own body. The perfect moment has arrived. Realizing that the poison has weakened Doma, Kanao and Inosuke immediately rush forward to deliver the finishing blow. However, despite the intense pain spreading through his body, Doma still fights back. Despite the poison taking effect, Doma still unleashes his final technique, creating a gigantic ice Buddha to stop them. A massive frozen arm suddenly grabs Inosuke as he charges in, trapping him tightly. At the same time, the ice Buddha stands before Doma like a wall, releasing freezing air that prevents Kanao from approaching. Even with victory close, the two are briefly stopped by Doma's final move. But if they miss this chance, there may never be another one. Kanao immediately gathers the last of her strength and rushes forward to deliver a decisive strike. Her slash shatters the ice Buddha. Right after that, Inosuke and Kanao coordinate their attacks, pushing Doma into a corner. In the final moment, the two combine their strength and unleash the finishing blow, finally defeating Doma.